Hello EDU 262 and welcome to Module 3. This module will deal with program evaluation, and it will deal with professional development of a child care center and specifically again as program evaluation. So if we look at our read and review these resources, make sure you watch the Module 3 instructional video, and then the Module 3 book has some things in here. It'll have your objectives, your reading assignment, your program evaluation, speaking about some things about that, and then some special links that you might find useful. And as we go back to Module 3, you'll see here the ECHRS, Early Childhood Environmental Rating Scale Training Workbook. Now this workbook you will see, and I had to use this little button here on my PDF to turn it around to make it go the right direction, so hopefully you'll have something that will help you do that. But this goes through just some examples from the ECHRS, which is the Early Childhood Environmental Rating Scale. And this is the scoring practice sheet that they would use. And these are the different areas in the ECHRS. You have space and furnishings, personal care routines, language reasoning, activities, interaction, program structure, parents, and staff. And as you look at an example here, you will, how they score the ECHRS when they come to your center is they will look at all of the criteria up here, and in order to score a 7, you have to do everything correctly in 5, 3, so you have to answer yes to all of those, and then in 1 you have to say no. So even if you score no in 1 and you have most of 3, you would score a 2 in this area. Even though you may do some of these things in 5 and 7, if you can't do all of 3, then you can't score a 3. So you would score down to a 2. If you score all of the 3 as yeses and the 1s as nos, and you score more than half of the 5s, then you would be given a score of a 4. If you score all of 5, you get a 5. And again for 7, in order to score a 7, you have to get yeses on all of the 7s, all the 5s, all the 3s. If you score more than half of the 7s, then you would score a 6. So you can look through the different criteria. Again, here's an explanation of that. But as you look through some of these different examples of the different criteria, you can just get an idea of what they will come and look at when they come to your center to rate you on the ECHRS. So just wanted to give you a little sample of that you can look through at your own time. And then as we move on down, here you will see the program assessment packet, and you will want to click on that and see all the different assignments that you will have, and you'll also have the rubrics there. And then the first discussion forum is what has been your experience with ECHRS or ITERS or SACRS or FICRS. So the SACRS is for school age, the FICRS is for family child care centers, the ITERS is for infant toddler, and then the ECHRS is for early childhood. And then questions to ask a panel of directors. So in this one, you are going to say, well, if you had a chance to actually sit before a panel of different directors, what are some questions that you might want to ask them? So you're going to discuss that in that discussion forum. Your Winning Ways, Being a Supervisor book, chapters 5 and 6. And then you'll upload parts of that in this assignment. So chapters 5 and 6, pages 62 to 85, and then you're going to complete pages 71 to 73, 81 to 82, and 84 to 85. Again, take a picture of it or scan it and upload it into this assignment area. The next part of the assignment is about the program assessment packet. And right above that is the Division of Child Development Provider forms, and you may want to use that for some of these assignments. The first one is about a staff performance instrument. So to complete this assignment, you will submit an instrument for use in evaluating staff performance in your center or a center in your community or your pretend center, and describe how it will be used in your evaluation process. So again, here's the criteria in which you will be graded. The next assignment is an instrument for director performance evaluation. So you'll identify an instrument for director that you would use as a performance evaluation and describe how it will be used. For example, will it be a self-evaluation and an evaluation done by the board of directors, advisory board, parents, and or staff? So how is it going to be used? And then what happens once the evaluations are done? So again, look at your minimum standards and how the criteria in which you will be graded to help you complete that assignment. And then evaluate a center, and you're actually going to use this checklist for evaluating a center, and that is one of the provider forms that's on the DCDEE website. So evaluate a center, and you will use the form or survey that you have either created, revised, or borrowed, or the one from DCDEE to evaluate your center or center in your community. And then write a summary on one page discussing the instrument that was used, the form or survey, and the information that was gathered. What was discovered? If you were the director, what would be your next step based on the information that was gathered, and how will you share that information gathered, and with whom would you share it? So this is kind of a fun little activity where you can just evaluate your own center or another center in the area and give some feedback on it. Then as we progress down, you have a leadership style instrument, and you are actually going to use the professional behavior checklist that is right here. That's from BRCC, and I'm going to show you that right here. So you're going to actually, right here under Self 262, you're going to actually rate yourself on your professionalism. And so the first thing is adaptability. And so consider the student's ability to adjust behavior due to organizational changes such as scheduling, reassessing priorities to accommodate changes in workload, and making the transition from task to task or from one work area to another. So what you do is you read each one of these lines and decide which one best describes you at this time. So let's say I would best describe myself as usually adjust to change with minimal disruption, usually able to complete work under changed conditions. I would come over here and I would place an X in that particular box. Then you continue on down through each one of these different characteristics and decide which statement best describes you and put an X in that particular box, and continue on all the way through. And then at the bottom, you will think about the different problem areas or challenges that you might have. Maybe write one or two down here and decide what are some goals that I might want to have to improve in those areas, and then what's my plan of action to actually reach my goal. And come up with a way to help yourself as you self-assess on each one of these areas. And then if you look at the actual assignment, it says to complete this portfolio assignment, assess your own leadership style using an instrument you choose and identify areas that you want to improve. Develop a plan that includes at least 3 strategies you will use to improve the areas you have identified. Review the information on North Carolina Institute for Early Childhood Professional Development website for leaders. Then complete the professional skills checklist provided to assess yourself and your leadership. So you'll be successful, and here are the areas in which you're going to be looked at for grading. So again, that's the professional skills checklist that I just went over with you. And then the playground safety. I'm going to show you a couple of these particular resources right here. First is the Playground Safe Kids. And so there's some good facts here about the playground, top tips, learn more, resources here. So just a quick little thing that you might want to read about safe kids and playgrounds. And then another resource is playground safety, This is a great article to read, and something on soft surface, swings, smooth sliding, safe seesaws and merry-go-rounds, climbing carefully, playgrounds for all children, and improve your playground, and then top 10 checklists for playground safety. So those are some great little tips there. Some playground evaluation ideas here. So just some things to think about when you're thinking about the playground. So describe the playground, the evaluation, to evaluate the facilities for appropriateness for preschoolers, and some questions here, and then another website. So actually in the playground safety, you're going to create or adapt an existing form or tool to regularly assess the safety of your playground and describe how the information gathered will be used. Actually assess the playground at your center or a center in your community with the actual tool that you're going to upload. You're going to upload this assessment and create a form or use an existing form to be used to keep track of ongoing playground inspections. So there's like two things that you're going to do here that you're going to upload. You're going to upload the assessment that you are going to do on an actual playground, either using a form that you've created or use the form on the DCDEE website, whichever one you prefer, and then also create a form, or if you have an existing form, to be used to keep track of ongoing playground inspections. In fact, one of the assignments you did in 261 may cover that already. You might already have a form that we've created in the previous class that you would be showing how you will continue to inspect the playground. And then again, your criteria for grading. And then you'll have your Chapter 15 quiz. And so that will wrap everything up for Module 3 on program evaluation. Have a great Module 3.